Welcome to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. Your boy Captain Mal here, and today I'm joined by
Weapon 2.
And today we are going to be giving you our official review of Glass. That's what it's Glass, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can call it
Glass half full.
Glass half full or half empty, depending. I don't know. We're gonna let you know though what we think. I kept calling it split today when I was searching showtimes, and I was getting pissed because I couldn't find any.
Yeah, because that's the name
not
of the last one.
That's not
yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so Glass is the third installment of the what do we call in this universe? The
M. Night Shyamalan-verse.
The Shyamalan-verse. I like it. Started with Unbreakable, which was a fantastic movie. Second installment was Split, which was very good itself. And now it combines those characters and those universes together with this movie, Glass. A lot of excitement leading up to this, a lot of expectations. We just got done at the theater and we drove it here in total silence because we didn't want to give anything away for free because it's
not
for you.
even eye contact.
Yeah, we weren't even looking at each other. I was just sitting cowering in the corner like he touched me. Right? So here we go. Weapon 2. Initial thoughts.
First, I have a question.
Okay.
Are we going to do spoilers? I find it probably going to be hard to talk about this without spoilers. What do you think?
I feel like every time we do a movie review, I want to kind of have the beginning part be non-spoilers, and then at a certain point give a spoiler.
Okay, sounds good.
But so let's just give initial overall thoughts real quick.
So I thought it was good. It went. It was surprising to me. It went in a total different direction than I thought it was towards the end. And I thought it was good. It had a real interesting story. It kind of felt like it was kind of slowed down at the beginning and maybe through some parts, but when it started speeding up, it started speeding up.
Yeah, so I liked it. I'll say that. I thought it was good. I had a lot of expectation of what I wanted this movie to do and the avenues I wanted it to take. It didn't quite do those things. So it really didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Doesn't mean it was bad. It was just totally different.
Yes, definitely different than what I thought.
It was different, and you're right. I feel like the first act was all right. The second act slowed a bit. The third act, when it got going. But whether or not it ended in a good or bad note, I feel like that's a good debate. I have a lot of questions about the end. And there was a part of me that was disappointed with some of the service it did to some of the characters, or all of the characters, actually. I feel like that's really all we could kind of say about this without spoilers.
Without talking about.
So I liked it. It was good. It was worth watching. If you want to watch it, then you should watch it.
If you were a fan of the other two movies, you should definitely, for sure, go watch it.
I feel like the way you look at this, though, like if you're a fan of Unbreakable and you're looking at this as an Unbreakable sequel, or you're a fan of Glass and you're looking at this as a Glass sequel, it's going to affect how you perceive this movie, though. I think, though,
yes,
as whichever one you like more, it's going to directly affect how much you like this. If you're looking at it as the third part of a trilogy, period, I feel like you're fine. But I liked it. Definitely go watch it if you're interested, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So this concludes the spoiler-free version. Spoiler alerts. Anything from here on, we're going to ruin in 3, 2, 1. Oh my God! They all died! I fucking killed all of them! What? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, so get into it. Just go.
Yeah. All your characters that you liked before aren't there anymore.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, dead. James McAvoy, dead. Sam Jackson, that motherfucker, dead. Which, by the way, we'll talk about the ins and outs of the movie. Ballsy move. If this is supposed to set up, the rest of your extended universe, if they want to keep going with this universe, which they clearly do, ballsy move to kill all your players, right? That was actually...
Right, you're not even keeping anybody as a bridge.
No!
And you're
I was like...
Here we go.
That was impressive. Okay, so the movie actually starts out kind of where the other two left off, right? McAvoy, the whatever the 1,000 names he has, he's out running around.
We'll call him the Horde or the Beast, whatever.
Okay, so the Horde Beast guy, he's running around, capturing cheerleaders and whatnot. David Dunn, Bruce Willis's character, is running around being the good guy. Mm-hmm. And it actually starts with a confrontation between the two of them. Bruce Willis does the thing in the trailer where he passes him, he touches him, sees what's going on. They have a confrontation and they both end up getting busted by the Popo. Mm-hmm. I thought it was interesting that they both they had their confrontation so soon, but it made sense in the story because both of them were just I need to find the other guy and settle this. The Beast was taken back that something out there was as strong as him, and so was David Dunn. And so they go to a mental institution. Enter Sarah Paulson's character, who is a psychiatrist, specializing in the delusion of grandeur, the growing field of people who believe they're superheroes. And she's basically trying to convince the three of them, along with Sam Jackson's character, Mr. Glass, that they're all crazy, that their abilities, all of that, are not real.
But I'll also say, at this point right here, I'm going to start pointing out where that was all bullshit.
Okay,
and we'll find out at the end that it was bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why. The reason is, if you think somebody has delusions and they're crazy and think they're a superhero, you don't reinforce their cell like they're a superhero. Okay? You don't install plumbing and nozzles that's going to dump 55,000 gallons of water in a second into the guy's
each
cell.
Each one of their cells were specific to their weakness. So, Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn, his weakness is water, so there's all this piping and rigging, and they're just dousing with water. McAvoy the Beast, they have all these lights that when you flash them, it pops out a different personality so that way he can't get to the door. I don't know what, but...
And the other interesting thing about that is, if you look at the Beast door, it's like a regular door.
Yeah.
It's like a regular door you're going to see in a minimum or medium security prison. But, however, David Dunn's door is reinforced, steel sheath, and everything. So
they're really counting on that lights flashing to stop the Beast from getting there.
Yeah,
so there's that.
Especially since the other guy's a bad guy.
Yeah.
You really don't want him to
And speaking of the bad guy, like, Sam Jackson was not in this as much as I thought he would be. Like, they don't show him for at least a good half hour, and then he's like all catatonic, or faking catatonic because he's overly medicated. And you come to find out that it's his big master plan he has. He's outsmarting everybody there, and he's finding a way to roam around at night. And he interacts with McAvoy, and he's like, hey, I want to meet the Beast, and if the stories of the extraordinary are true, I'm going to get us all out of here. We need to reveal ourselves to the world. Kind of his plan in the original movie. My question is there only one fucking security guard working there, like, at any given time? Because it's like...
Well, it seems like they're scattered about, but there's clearly only one orderly, or whatever you want to call them, working in there. At any given time. And they're all on their own.
Not to critique that to be too harsh, but no, like, he just, one dude's distracted, and he just has free reign of the fucking place.
And it seems like at times you see a lot of them, but you never really see them
doing anything. Yeah. Like when she's having the meetings, there's a bunch there. And
and other times, they're like all somewhere else.
Yeah,
on the grounds. Maybe doing something important. I don't know.
So basically, the first act of this movie is them walking around and they get caught. Second act is them being in the institution, and she's convincing them that they're fucking just crazy. And she does a decent job of trying to convince each of them individually, kind of pointing out shit to them, like, trying to explain it away with, science.
Almost completely convinced as David Dunn that he's absolutely not a superhero.
He almost convinced the Beast, too.
Yeah,
it was really just Sam Jackson. It's like, nah.
She convinced the rest of the horde.
Yeah.
If not, the Beast, but they were like, oh yeah, they're doubters. They're not believing.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they were not ride or die. So Sam Jackson's the only one that's like, we're legit, and he hatches this plan to have them all escape. And the movie, the climactic ending of the movie is a confrontation between David Dunn and the Beast outside of the mental institution. He sets up this big master plan, like they're going to go to this building unveil in downtown, where are they, Philly? And have a big fight there, but it turns out his whole plan was just to have him fight, in front of the building with all the cameras there. He outsmarted Sarah Paulson's character with that. So we have the confrontation between the two of them. My concern going into the movie, and one of the things I was kind of disappointed with, I was just like, I want a cool fight between them.
Right. They
didn't really give me a good fight. The initial conflict, they did a lot of the fucking shaky cam, zoomed in, panned out, never really get a clear picture of what's happening. And in this fight, they did a lot of kind of fucked hard cuts, and they didn't choreograph a good fight. I don't know if they just didn't have choreographers, or they were just, I don't know what it was, but I took issue with the fact that all the trailers were hyping up this fight, and it wasn't that great of a fight. Did that bother you?
No, I agree with you that it wasn't a very good choreographed fight, but I think it was a good display of that we haven't really seen of just how powerful they could be.
Right.
I mean, their strength and their superpower. Because I'm telling you, in Unbreakable, I never really, you and I have already had this conversation about just because you bench 350 pounds doesn't mean super. Because I used to bench 350 pounds.
We literally had this conversation the other night where we were talking about Unbreakable. He's like, so he put up 350. He's like, so what? I used to fucking do that. And I was like, no, the point is, he could have kept doing it. He could have kept doing more. I was like, but that's all he did on camera.
I want to see it!
And then it was so great. It's like they fucking heard me, because in this movie it has a flashback to him talking to his kid, and like Bruce Willis is like, there's strong guys in any gym who could do that much, and the kid's like, but you could do more. And I literally just hit him in the theater. I was like,
and so in Split, you got to see like maybe a little more feats of strength from him, and get shot with 2 shotguns, which he still sports the bruises or wounds or whatever from on this movie. And
they're climbing on the wall shit, man. How are you like, nah, anybody can do it? Like bullshit, like he's climbing on the wall.
Well, he almost explained that the doctor
explanation
because that was rock and he was a rock climber.
No, she's basically
a sheer wall.
This was their explanation. So you watch a lot of YouTube, bro. You're watching a lot of YouTube videos about rock climbing, so you're figuring this shit. But I was like, no, he's Spider-Man in this shit. Like, whatever. Okay.
Now, this may have been painfully obvious to everybody else. It was obvious. It became increasingly obvious to me. Maybe I'm just pointing this out. Maybe you haven't noticed it. Is the color symbolism between each of the characters?
Oh yeah, they were doing that in every scene.
They were doing that, and it was really subtle and unbreakable. The green was. It wasn't until, and I guess I really didn't notice it until I started seeing the trailers for this one. But then, of course, all through Splits, the yellow, and then but you really see it when they're all. I mean, even at the end when the 3 proteges, the mom, the son, the girl, ex-victim set free. Yeah. They're all wearing the colors.
Yeah. Well, the thing that triggered that to me was the poster for this. It has the characters each in their color.
Okay.
And then you're right. Like I realized, oh fuck, Unbreakable is this color and Split is this color. And in this movie, it's everywhere. It's not so.
I mean, even in the comic book store, where the heroes are green and the villain section, which is not anything that's ever in a comic book store.
I was thinking,
you're never going to go to
a villain section.
There would be nothing. It would be empty because you don't make comic books about villains. The villains are the other.
Well, you do.
Tell me, give me 3 examples of villains that carry their own books.
Like currently? Like
yeah, in general. In general, if you walk into
because they become like anti-heroes or whatever.
Right, anti-heroes is a little bit different, but I mean, I've never gone in and seen.
You never see a villain section with a big neon
light. The Penguin.
Yes. No, you're correct. Yeah, there's never a villain section.
They're the heroes.
So here, one of my annoyances with the movie was they kept referencing the tropes in superhero comics a little too heavy-handedly, right?
Yeah.
Like they'd be like, oh well, this is the part where there's the big reveal with the hero and the villain do this, and like this is the part of the comic where they do this, and it's just like, bro, like we could infer through context that that's what happening. Like
they laid it on.
You don't have to, but. We're comic book fans. I bet the general masses, like, you kind of gotta, like, explain shit out a little bit, so whatever. But to me, that was an annoyance. Like, they kind of spoon-fed your information that I didn't need to be spoon-fed.
Where was Mr. Glass storing those fancy clothes that he put on before his escape?
I feel like that was the evidence locker. They went to the evidence room, remember, where David Dunn got the hoodie? But he looked pretty legit.
There's some really nice clothes waiting for him, guys.
Yeah, no.
And bad teeth. Does he not know is there no dental care? That's what I wondered. Did you see his teeth?
Yeah, at the
end. They're like covered with black.
But they weren't ever covered like that before. Like
no, what the heck is going on with his teeth?
That's pretty rough. Yeah. But, okay, so minor annoyances aside, so we come to find out one of the big, the Shyamalana twists, if you will, are that, obviously Mr. Glass teams up with the Beast, and then there's a big reveal that David Dunn's son does, where he finds out that the Beast's father was on the train that David Dunn was on that crashed due to Elijah Sam Jackson crashing to try to find David Dunn. I really hope his name is David Dunn.
It is David Dunn.
Cool. Yeah. So Mr. Glass is responsible for the Beast's father dying, who's responsible for him being left with his abusive mom, which apparently being abused gives you superpowers. Whatever, that's cool. Yeah. So Beast turns around and just fucking super punches that guy and kills him. Well, leaves him there dying and still has his fight with Bruce Willis. I didn't see that coming. That was it wasn't like an oh my god twist, but it was good enough to where I'm like, oh fuck, that's neat. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Did you see that coming?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That was well done. And then the other big twist is we think that the plan was to get to that building to have everybody be unveiled, right? The confrontation has stopped. We'll get to that in a minute. And then we find out that the plan the entire time was to do it there because, like, Sarah Paulson told Mr. Glass about all the new cameras that were there. He hacks into them and, like, live streams it to the 3 people we previously mentioned, David Dunn's son, the victim the Beast let go, the girl from Split, and Mr. Glass's mom, so that way they can release the footage to the rest of the world to show the world that, these beings exist. Right. So that was twist number 2. Twist number 3 was turns out Sarah Paulson's character actually works for some weird organization. I'm gonna call them the Clovers or whatever the hell, because they have like this clover,
three-leaf clover,
on their tattoo on them. Yeah. She works for an organization that knows damn well that these beings exist, and that they always come in twos. There's always like a good one and an evil one, and whenever one rises, the other one rises to match up and counter it, and that just leads to bad things.
And it seems like a lot of these people not only work at the facility that they're at, and maybe on the police.
Yeah. No, there's just very, very limited response time there. Yeah. So their mission is to, one, if you find these beings, kind of talk them out of thinking that they're superpowers. So like the SWAT team and the police show up, and you think to stop everything and to help everyone. Well, they let Mr. Glass bleed out. David Dunn, they just fucking choke him out in water and like drowning him. And this is where Sarah Paulson gives the reveal of like, hey, if I would have convinced you that you were nuts, I would have fucking left you alone. But
she's talking shit to him as he's being drowned. Yeah. He's already weakened because he's already been in the water.
It's really kind of a Nana moment. But she's like, I would have left you alone. But they're like, no, you're real. All of you are real, and we need to either convince you that you're not, or we take out all of you. But we're not good. We're not evil. We just can't have it. We need balance. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So they literally do that, and they killed the beast too. They have the girl like talk him down, make him revert back to like a human form, and then he's freaking sniped. So they kill all three of them for this organization.
And for me, it was shocking that they were being killed, but it wasn't until I was, I guess, just faced with the reality that they killed David Dunn that I started going, holy cow, this is not at all what I expected at all. But I'll point out the names. The names are like kind of David Dunn, Kevin Crumb, all the kind of
Stanley, always. And so, the mom is over Sam Jackson, and she's like, oh, I thought this was the reveal here. He's like, this wasn't a reveal. This is an origin story. And then, they also make a reference to the universe being discovered or whatever. So they drop like subtle hints of the character saying that you could tell this isn't the end of this universe. You could tell M. Night Shyamalan has more that he wants to do with it, which is why, going back to our original point, it's ballsy that he kills the three big characters in this. Because there's still avenues that he can go, but damn, like, I didn't expect that at all.
It opens it up to where you do not know what's going to happen next. I mean, if some of these characters are around, you kind of like, you can guess, well, maybe they're going to do this. Yeah, you're clueless. Yeah. To me, what it is they just let the cat, the mission was to let the cat out of the bag so that everybody can understand, everybody can be like, wait, I'm not the only superhero on this planet.
They make the point when Elijah's talking to Bruce Willis. He's trying to be. Bruce Willis is like, no, maybe we're fucking crazy. Like, how are we the only ones? You know what I mean? So the whole point is to get the message out that there are these beings out there to essentially awaken the other ones, to let the other ones know, hey, fuck it, we're real. Let's show ourselves. So that's the avenue they could take in the next movie, where they could show other beings coming forward. So it's a ballsy move to kill all the main characters. I just don't know how much the ending actually landed for me. I'm kind of conflicted right now. Like I said, it was interesting. It was a different route from what I thought they were gonna do. Respect for killing your three main characters when you clearly want to make a sequel. Yeah. Not at all what I thought was gonna happen. The ending didn't feel super crazy climactic. Like as it was ending, like as they were having the final conversation, I looked at my watch and I was like, there's 20 minutes left of this movie. It was like, oh, they gotta wrap this up quick, don't they? Like it didn't feel climactic. It felt like the second act, honestly. And so to me, it tapered off a little bit and didn't feel like a super big, oh my god, ending. Maybe that was overhyped on my end. I liked it though. It just I need some more time to digest and process it.
Yeah, go ahead. No, to me it was kind of the shock of that all the characters died. And now it just left with clearly there's going to be more movies. What the heck are they going to be about? Who are they going to be about? I don't know.
I feel like
superheroes?
I feel like there's two camps. I feel like some people are going to love this movie. I feel like some are going to absolutely adore it. I feel like some people are going to be very disappointed with this. I do like, I've always liked this in any like example of it, where you have comic books and superheroes and all that are the crazy exaggerated versions of what might have actually happened, of actual events. Like the concept that maybe myth and legends are based on some kind of reality, some kind of truth, some kind of event did happen, and then it got crazy exaggerated. Like I love the scene in Logan where Logan's looking at the comic book, the X-Men comic book that Laura's looking at. He's like, what the hell is this? Like an X-Men comic book? And he's flipping through it. He's like, whoa, maybe a quarter of it happened and not like this, like in the real world people die. Like I love that concept, and to me, like how they portray them in this movie would be how they actually are, and then the Avengers is the exaggerated version. You know what I mean, like the movies and shit.
Right. I mean, well, like
kind of neat.
Like even in this movie, they point out, which is true in Action Comics #1, where Superman couldn't originally fly.
Yeah.
So they kind of point out, well, originally maybe this was kind of closer to what a real guy could do.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's blown into this guy who can fly and tow planets around. You know, so
yeah, they really make mention of that. They, like I said, lots of comic references, lots of comic tropes are explained and kind of tried to be like explained away. I think at the end of the day, I liked it. I definitely want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't want to say disappointed is the word. I don't know. I need to digest it a little more.
Well,
It wasn't what I thought it would be.
No, I hear what you're saying, and there's movies I walk away from, and I can't. I say, God, I can't wait to see the next one. I just have to see the next one. For me, this wasn't one of those. I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
I'm going to see the next movie.
Yeah.
It just, you're right. It didn't have that type of, I don't know, intangible, grab me and shake me around.
I feel like there was a lot of hype for this, justifiably so. There's a lot of hype, and I feel like it didn't quite meet the hype from me. Doesn't mean it wasn't a good movie. And it's,
No, it was definitely a good
worth
movie.
watching.
Yeah.
Didn't quite live up to the hype from me, and that's just because what I was expecting and what I wanted it to do. But that doesn't mean you should. I highly recommend it. If you're interested at all in watching this movie, you know, if we haven't totally ruined it for you, go watch it. It's worth your money. And I am interested in the next one. I'll watch the next one. I'm not like super excited or super stoked for it. But yeah, M. Night Shyamalan didn't disappoint me, and that's not a statement I say very often. I guess he did disappoint me. I think I contradicted myself.
Well, I
don't know.
mean, he didn't wow you.
He didn't wow me.
And the thing is, and I'm interested in this new universe of superheroes that I've never heard, that's being made up as he goes, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm down, but like you said, it's just not. It's not like one of those movies where I'm just like, oh my god, I can't wait till the next one.
I also feel like, you know, this is one of those movies I might have to watch 2 or 3 times to like realize I appreciate it, or to fully be like, eh. You know what I mean? Like sometimes like one viewing isn't enough. But anyway, that's about what I gotta say. Any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to point out?
You're right. You're always going to see something new in the next time you see the video or a movie, second time, third time, fourth time. So yeah, you're right. So I mean, I guess that's all I have to say. Good movie. Everybody's probably going to get something different out of it. Some people are, like you said, probably going to love it. Okay, and I mean, in every movie, some people hate it, but I liked it.
This specifically, I feel is going to be a topic of a lot of debate and discussion. Like I feel like the people who love it and the people who hated it are going to really fucking fight with each other.
Right.
Like we seem to be kind of on the same page. Mm-hmm. I would be curious if to talk to somebody who like is one way or the other. You know what I mean? So. Anyway, I'm good. Closing thoughts? Anything else?
No, sounds good.
Go check it out. So as always, thank you for joining us on this episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Peace!